what better way for me to go and return to the world of YouTube than to talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. One of my most desired, most wanted, and most requested games of all time, and arguably one of my all-time favorite games that I consider to be in the pantheon of greatest games that I've ever personally played, because it helped mold and shape me into the gamer that I am today. But the remake is something that's been much touted ever since the PlayStation 3 was first being shown off, and that was a million fucking years ago when that shit was just a mere tech demo. So fast forward all the way to 2019, and we get to see gameplay footage, all sorts of different cutscenes, and an actual release date for the upcoming Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I can safely say, with a smile on my motherfucking face, grinning from ear to ear, that this made me feel the feels. I'm not kidding, I had goosebumps multiple different times running up and down my goddamn arm, and I genuinely couldn't quit grinning. Like, it was something I just sat there going, this is what I've been waiting for. And sure, there was the Final Fantasy VII Symphony that they had going on, and I have to admit, I wish that I got to see, listen to, orchestrated Final Fantasy VII music being played live. I think something like that would be absolutely fucking amazing, just given the fact that I've listened to that soundtrack for the majority of my life. And they had showed off a little teaser trailer last night. And then they confirmed, yes, you were going to be seeing an extended trailer and gameplay footage and a bunch of news and all sorts of other happy horse shit. Obviously, that was going to end up bringing smiles for miles to gamers far and wide. And Square Enix, they delivered. They legitimately delivered to an E3 that I'll admit has been kind of lackluster. I mean, look, Keanu Reeves most certainly had went and saved the day, because everything that they showed off with Cyberpunk 2077 has been nothing short of fucking awesome as hell. And then we had the best girl, and then we had the doggo. So we had the Triforce, we had the Trinity of Hope for that, but then, you know, you go and you skip through that and you get the weird Bethesda crowds who don't just shut the fuck up, which thankfully the Square Enix crowd didn't decide to go and scream and interrupt everybody who was talking in the middle of their sentences, so that's at least a very positive thing. But we should talk about this, right? This is something that's very important. So the first quarter of next year, I'm pretty sure it's March 3rd if I'm not mistaken, we'll actually be getting Final Fantasy VII, and this shit's a simultaneous worldwide release. That I found to be shocking, just given the fact it's like, look at all these different languages you obviously have to go and translate this to, and I was expecting it to be dropped in Japan first, and then everywhere else was going to be a couple months after that, but no, this is simultaneous release. And the first thing that I want to go and get off my chest is, how the fuck did they manage to make Aeris, yes, I'm going to say Aeris, I don't give a shit, OG here, how did they make Aeris actually ridiculously hot? Like, look, right here, I have Sephiroth, the little blobby versions of their character models, I have Sephiroth stabbing Aeris through the fucking chest. This is like one of my most coveted things on this shelf, and I have fucking Panzer Dragoon Saga sitting over there. But this right here, that should already say, because I'm just like, I'm gonna bench this bitch, I'm not even using you because you're honestly fucking useless, except for that one time that I went to go and get some trophies whenever they went and released this shit on PlayStation 3 and 4 and all that. But, now all of a sudden, you're making me think, like, I might actually regret and feel bad and feel sad that she's gonna go and inevitably be fucking impaled and die. Like, that's something that's going to happen. One, I did not see this shit coming at all from millions and millions of miles away in galaxies far, far away. How the fuck was I ever supposed to be, like, look, I'm always Team Tifa. That's how it is. There's always just like, side A, side B, which one are you gonna end up going to? And I'm always with Tifa, but they actually made her hot. She might be likable. I might feel sad a little bit, just tiny bit. I mean, I can always just try to go and make myself feel a little bit better by going back and watching the original shit, but whenever you see the side-by-side cutscenes of both of them, it's amazing that we've come such a long way, and it's like 1997 to 2019, it's fucking mind-blowing. They showed off the combat, and the combat admittedly is something that has been a topic of much debate amidst all Final Fantasy fans, from the diehards to the most casual out there, because it's like the original obviously was turn-based. And I can say, I know that there's going to be plenty of people who disagree with this shit, but I actually like turn-based combat in my role-playing games. And I know that most motherfuckers will be like, that shit's boring, I don't know how you like that. But for me, personally, I've just always liked it. I'm like, okay, hold up. We've got a combat system that's very reminiscent and familiar if you played Final Fantasy 15 or if you played Kingdom Hearts 3 or anything like that, and it just seems like it's kind of gelled between the two, but then they showed off a bit more information because the active time battle system, yes, the ATB system is back. This shit actually reminds me of VATS from Fallout. So, as soon as you want to go and activate this shit, whether you're using abilities, or you're using your materia, or if you're trying to use items, or pull off one of the many, many limit breaks that you go and have, it like slows down time to an absolute fucking standstill. And then you can just pick and choose whatever the hell that you want to do. Otherwise, you can go up, you can do dodge rolls, you can hide behind terrain, which I actually thought that was a nice little touch. You can go and just hack and slash whoever the fuck that you want to. One button press and you switch between all your different characters. So far, I've only seen them have upwards of 3 characters within combat. I don't know if they will go to 4, because, you know, Final Fantasy series obviously have had more than 3 within combat, but just saying, I like the idea that it was so quick, so fast, so fluid, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know if there's anything where you get to pick and choose, like, what the AI companions are going to end up doing, whether they're just going to be like all defense, just using items, they're going to be like, you know, the relegated healer or whatever it's going to be, or just straight up on defense. But I like the idea that you could just switch between that shit really fast, and then the ATB system kind of makes it feel like it's this weird merging of actual, like, action-oriented combat and turn-based combat. That I was okay with. I was like, okay, fine. You've already sold me on that shit, because when I got to see it in action, I was like, that actually looks kind of cool. I have to admit, it looks kind of cool. And I know that it's a bit more difficult to go and sell people, especially in a, like, newer generation on games that play like older games. And sure, I can always reference Persona 5, because that shit's turn-based, and it was fucking amazing. Seriously, one of the best goddamn games that I played this generation, hands down. But seeing this shit in action, it was just like, you got to see them use all sorts of different materia, and it was actually showing up on their weapons. Like, you got to see it on the Buster Sword, you got to see Aerith running around. I know, Aerith, shut the fuck up, I'm just going to keep on saying Aerith. But then you got to see Tifa, and my god, they showed Tifa. To begin with, they said, oh, would you like to see Tifa? And the fucking crowd just blew up. They were just losing their collective shits, as was I. My computer desk is sitting right there, my stupid little computer chair is sitting right there, and I'm just like, oh, don't fuck with her titties! That's all I was concerned with. Let it be known, the only thing that I was really worried about was, do not fuck up Tifa's titties. Is cross-dressing Cloud still in the game? That's it. I like to think that I have my priorities in order, and if anybody wants to go and argue and debate that, we can fucking do that shit. Trust me, you're gonna go and lose that shit, because Tifa titties, cross-dressing, best waifu Cloud, those are at the top of the heap in terms of what do you think's important when it comes to, like, remaking Final Fantasy VII? We're talking about one of the most treasured video games within the role-playing game genre, and arguably one of the most important games in general. But yeah, those are going to be top tier. But Tifa showed up, dude. The fun bags were there. I was just like, thank God they did not touch her fucking snack trays. I was like, dude, you can't do that. You can't. Like, her sweater hands are extremely important. Like, that's a vital component to the character, and you might be like, well, what's that to do with her personality? I can't fuck a personality. Then again, I can't go and fuck this, but, you know, cosplayers and shit. I mean, that's about as close as you can get. Okay. Off track, I already know that. I mean, if you've watched my videos over the years, you already know that I'm going to do stuff like this, so this shouldn't really come to a surprise. But let's talk about some of the music. The music Again, I had talked about earlier, just, I really wish that I got to see, like, this orchestra of all the Final Fantasy VII music, and the soundtrack is one of the few soundtracks, and I shit you not, it's actually kind of convenient, but it's one of the very first two soundtracks that I ever bought, and it's actually the very first one I ever bought, but this and Symphony of Night, I've always loved the music within this game so damn much that it never bored me at all. I've listened to it while working out, while just going for a leisurely jog, while I was just going and driving around, just anything at all, just background music. It was fantastic. And this, they've redone the music and it actually holds up. I am hoping that they pull a Capcom and kind of do like with the Resident Evil 2 remake where they offered the original soundtrack as an option. I don't really care. Make it unlockable if you can, because I prefer not to go and pay for fucking DLC. But still, just saying, it's good. It's quite good. I mean, the minute that they were panning out from Midgar, dude, I stopped and I had to keep rewinding, and this shit was live, and I was like panicking while doing it, but I had to because all these subtle, tiny little details. Midgar is fucking massive. I'm talking like, take everything that you had seen from Advent Children and it just blows that out of the water, and that was a really beautiful movie, but this actually goes and blows it up to a proportion that we haven't expected in the world of Final Fantasy until like 15 rolled around, and this looks like it's going to fucking squash that. We got to watch Cloud go and walk around all sorts of familiar locations and locales that we've come to know and love, and if you play Crisis Core, you got to see some of this shit in 3D, but now, now we'll actually see this shit in, like, you know, fucking 4K in high definition. I just can't wait. Like, but when they were panning that shit out and the music was playing, they go and show off the logo, it's, again, just goosebumps. Goosebumps up and down my arm. I was just like, thank you for this. Holy shit, thank you. And it's like, we got to see President Shinra there, we got to see Barret. They had so many different new scenes showing up in between things, like, Cloud and Jessie actually have a whole lot of stuff that they get to do together, and let's get this out of the way too. Okay, Tifa looked ridiculously hot. I already knew that was going to happen. I was just worried about, okay, are we gonna have a titty reduction or not? But that didn't end up happening, so I'm like, thank God. And she's back to wearing a fucking skirt, and that's, again, something important to me. I'm gonna fuck yes, I'm a goddamn pervert. But still, Jessie, dude, they make Jessie smoking ass hot. I'm just talking, it's like, I like this. I like this a lot. That is super duper, terrific even. But we got to see her in all these different dialogue exchanges that aren't in the original game, and that was sometimes just like, I know that they said that we want to go and make this game much bigger. We want to add in a whole lot of stuff that wasn't there originally. We're even going to change shit that you were familiar with back in the day, and it is a remake. So I was like, fine, that's okay, because I always got the original. If I decide, hey, I fucking hate this, I can go back and play the original. But seeing some of this shit, I was hyped as hell because now the actual group of Avalanche matter. And that's something like, they were kind of throwaway characters, like they were there, but we want to be a bit more invested in them, obviously, but didn't get the chance to because really their fucking like actual airtime was just like next to none. And now we get to go and see this shit. Jessie is riding around on the back of the Hardy Daytona, Cloud's bike, while he's slashing up motherfuckers. Like, you remember that mini game, right? Dude, now they have this in different locations, and this seems like it's going to be an integral part of the game. If it turns out that we can just drive around the bike from location to location, like on the fucking world map or something, oh, I fucking need it. And it made me wonder, are we going to have a world map, and how is that shit going to, like, I'm just super excited because I got to see so much different shit. We got to see all the different limit breaks. Like, we got to see Cross Slash. I was just like, that's amazing. We got to see Braver. I was just like, oh, and we got to see Big Shot. I'm like, dude, I need all this. I need all this. Aeris was in combat, and again, I'm just kind of wondering, like, I mean, do I get invested in you because I already know what your future for? It's just, I'm so happy. Like, I really am, because it's something to me. This is important. Like, this is legitimately important as all hell, because this is a game that everybody has wanted to see. And I got the Resident Evil 2 Remake. That was one of the many games that I've wanted to see remade. And the Resident Evil 2 Remake, I've been writing a fucking review for it, but it's like super late, so who the fuck's really gonna care about that? Please comment if you actually give a shit to see me talk about that at all. But it's like, this this has been so damn important, and it's like companies have been knocking it out of the park with a lot of remakes lately. This is something that I've wanted so fucking much. And I even wrote notes over here. Oh my fucking god, there are more bike battles, and then Tifa with lots of A's, just Let's see, limited edition with Cloud and a Hardy Daytona. Oh yeah, that is something I should talk about. Okay, I already like limited editions. I mean, I have a fucking limited edition PlayStation 3 that I imported from Japan. Thank you, Kidshow Ryukin. But this right here, this has been a fucking gem to me. But now we've got a Final Fantasy VII limited edition that's going to be coming out. If you've seen any of the Play Arts figures, which honestly, I think that they look really, really good. And I've got plenty of figures all over the place. And it's like Cosmo from Yakuza, and then Phoenix right over there. But granted, those are Figma figures. I have a Noctis figure that's over there, which I ended up getting that from the limited edition Final Fantasy 15. But this one has Cloud on the bike, and it's like, I need that. Like, I actually need that because I don't have any of the Play Arts versions of any of the FF7 characters, with the exception of the original run with Sephiroth, Vincent, and I ended up getting the Advent Children version of Tifa. I want the OG Tifa. Let's just get that out of the way. That one is infinitely better, but goddamn, that one battle that she had inside the church, dude, that shit was super good. Top tier, made me super happy. Let's see, am I missing anything here? Oh yeah. Okay, cross-dressing Cloud is best lady. Don't take her from us. The Honeybee Inn in HD. I don't know if you guys actually got to see this shit, but there was people who ended up taking, like, the actual character model of Cloud, put him in super glorious high definition, and then had him wearing that terrible looking fucking purple dress. And it's like, Don Corneo is going to end up trying to go and bump uglies with this version of Cloud. But then it was like all these big buff burly bodybuilders and shit that they had at the Honeybee Inn. And I'm like, dude, please tell me that they have this. And if they do, okay, the absurdity of it, there was shit that's only in the Japanese version, I'm dead ass serious, go look it up, that we did not get outside of Japan. That always broke my heart. I need them to just go absolutely fucking ballistic with some of this shit. Go all out with the humor and the tongue-in-cheek shit and the sarcasm, just all of it. And something I was pleasantly surprised by, there was actual swearing in this. I know, okay, Alpha, that's not really an important thing, but one of the fears that we all had was, man, they're gonna water that shit down. You watch and see. They're gonna end up taking this away, and they're gonna take that out, and this is gonna be gone, and that's gonna be toned down. And so far, we had them saying fuck and shit, ass, and then we got Tifa titties, again, always just that smile. We got to see Sephiroth show up in this shit, and obviously, like, taunting the living hell out of Cloud, but Cloud's a fucking head case in general, so we don't know what kind of things we're going to be seeing with that. But considering, like, the insanity of when we went inside of his mind, I can just imagine what they can do with today's tech. Dude, I need that. And I'm just, it's like, now all of a sudden I'm really wondering, I'm like, man, what are the Turks going to be like? Is there going to be callbacks to Crisis Core? It's just, I am so damn happy about this. I want to know about all the new things that they're going to end up including in this. And it's like, do they have new mini games that are going to end up showing up in it? Is this going to be something where they allow for multiplayer? Because just imagine if they did co-op, where you could go online and somebody could end up taking one of the other team members. Dude, I would be all over that shit. I mean, they did it with Final Fantasy 15, so there's no fucking reason why this couldn't work. But I'd love to see that. And then it made me question, like, when Cloud and Aerith, almost said Aerith, when they meet up, dude, they had this scene where it's just like these little, like, I don't know, it's like these little smoky shadow figures and shit, and it looked like they had hoods on and shit. I was like, hold the fuck up. That's not in the original, and I don't remember this at all within Final Fantasy lore, so I was like, what the fuck's going on? What is this? What is this? Why is this? So many questions, literally miles of questions going on with that. Nothing else I was really questioning, but this seemed like an entirely new dynamic that obviously, like, I need answers, but there's a playable demo that's going to be at E3 right now. I'm so sad I'm not there. Like, that's one of those things that it's like, so you're at home. Oh, this motherfucker actually can just make a video about it, and no, that's actually it. He can just make a video. That sucks. But it's a comeback video, and it's something because it's like, damn, Alpha, you've been gone for a really long time. Yes, I have. This seemed like the perfect opportunity for it. So, here. I'm alive and well, and yes, I am actually going to be making more videos, and I've been writing all that stuff up because there's been so much going on with E3, so I was like, I think this would be a proper video to come back with, and I've been writing up a bunch of different reviews and stuff, so a bunch of, like, highly edited content will end up coming, and just, the crowd was going ballistic, I was going ballistic, and it was kind of cool to see so many other people invested in this shit, and when I got to see social media just lighting up like nobody's business, that made me happy, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad this is the thing that I get to talk about upon my return. So, okay, YouTube, I guess, like, hit the bell, because that's really important, because YouTube wants you to double subscribe to people if you want notifications and shit, so that's kind of important. Unless you don't give a shit about anything like that, then don't. I don't know. Click the thumbs up. Unless you hate me, then you can go and turn that shit down. Please leave a comment, share the video. Actually, that's really vital and important, and especially right now, because I'm sure that they probably end up unsubbing plenty of people from me, and there's a chance that my videos won't show up in the feed because nobody's really watched them for a long time because I haven't been around. So, please like and leave a comment and all the other stuff, and please share it on social media, wherever you want to. The return of AlphaOmegaSin is finally upon YouTube for all. There's probably going to be, like, next to nobody who ends up watching this, but damn it, I'm excited and I'm still going to be making videos regardless, so that seems like a good thing. Expect some more, and I love you all.